you eat grass all day?
Not quite. It is something that occupies me all the time, but I do lie down and I have this funny habit of having to regurgitate what I've eaten in order to properly digest it, because I've got 4 stomachs, which is unlike any human being. But I need to get quite a large quantity in, so I graze it, swallow it, and then I digest it at leisure.
Is that what's called chewing the cud? I don't really understand about
Absolutely.
chewing the cud.
It's absolutely, yeah. People use the phrase themselves, I believe. If they're chewing over some problem, they say they're chewing the cud. But it is something physically that I have to do.
So what are you doing? You're just using your 4 stomachs?
Well, I've got a very clever system of converting grass into protein, and things go from one stomach to another in a special system. But I have to wrap my tongue around each piece of grass and pull it, and it takes quite a long time. You have to be quite devoted. That's why when I was young, when I was a calf, I could play, because I was drinking milk from my mother 3 times a day. On average, all the calves, all my friends drink every 8 hours. And you get quite a lot of milk, and you get all the goodness you need, because milk's a complete food. And you've got all the rest of the time you can play. But from probably about 3 months old, we're seriously interested in grass. And then from then on, we have to devote most of our spare time to eating, and we don't have much time for playing, just a little bit, but not much.
How old are you?
Well, I'm 8 now, and I've had quite a few calves. I had my first calf when I was just over 2. And then I had another calf when I was just over 3. And usually a calf every year.
That brings me to my next question about bulls. Have you got a partner at the moment?
Yes, but he's got lots of wives. He's got sort of like a harem. He doesn't seem to like any of us particularly. Just for a few minutes once a month he seems to be devoted to us. And then he forgets all about us. I think he finds us quite boring. As soon as all the herd is in calf, he usually goes and sits and looks at the view and doesn't talk to any of us.
Is that him making that racket?
Yes, he doesn't very often speak. He's normally quite the silent, dark, silent type. But just today, for some reason, he's talking. Normally, we're quite a quiet bunch. We very rarely moo, unless it's winter and we're very hungry and the farmer's a bit late with the hay. But we usually don't say much.
It's lovely being in amongst you all today, and I don't feel nervous. I don't know if I should feel nervous. Do you ever see people coming through your field with sort of funny bobbly hats and laced up boots, and how do you feel about them coming through your field? Do you mind?
I hate it when there are bicycles that go too fast, because I don't quite understand that. People I'm used to just walking. But if a runner goes through, that bothers me a bit. I think, why are they going so fast? And if a bicycle's coming downhill very fast, they whiz past me, that usually makes me run away. And we're not that keen on dogs, because the owner of this farm doesn't have a dog. So we're not brought up to understand dogs. But if they're well behaved and on leads, we can cope with it, and if they're gone quite quickly. But if they were to run around loose, we'd be a bit worried. We'd be a bit worried that they might hurt our children, our calves, so we would feel protective. And then we might have to be aggressive towards a dog if they came too close. But we'd rather not bother if we can help it, if they just walk on through. So.
Yeah, you sound like you've got a pretty happy situation here.
It's lovely. It's what we're meant to do. We believe that the milk that we produce belongs to our calf, and it's their birthright. So, on the whole, but we know that man has interfered, mankind, with breeding for specific traits, and we know that, dairy cows now are habitually producing far more milk, 2 or 3 or 4 times more than they would naturally. They've been bred selectively to produce massively quantities of milk, so they could theoretically spare some. But we are more natural. We're beef cows, and we basically produce what we feel like. But we all produce different amounts. If you look at Dot over there, she's a very good mother. She might give her calf, a gallon or 2 gallons each feed. And yet Philipangela over there is quite lazy. She probably gives her calf about half a gallon or less.
What do you think of this idea of taking calves away from their mothers for
Well, it
milk?
seems very bizarre to us. I think if it happened at right at the beginning and the calf was taken away before we'd even turned around to see it, I expect we'd probably be a bit bemused and think, why isn't there something there after all that effort? But I expect we'd get over it fairly quickly. But if we'd once seen the calf and started to lick it, we'd be very upset to lose it, no question.
If you had a message for us, what would your message be?
Just treat us nicely. We don't require very much maintenance. We just need grass to eat, trees to stand under to get shade, and nice pure water to drink. And we don't ask anything else really, so we're quite happy to be not exactly servants, we're sort of partners in a farm. We do our bit, but we don't want to be forced to stay inside, and we don't want to be frightened or hurt, but we're quite happy being left alone as long as you just keep half an eye on us, make sure we've got just what we need.